Hi, I'm Mrs. Hawkins, and I'm here to talk to you today about diction, purpose, and audience. For some of my students, understanding diction, purpose, and audience can really stumble them. They try to figure out what's the difference between their word choices and who's listening, who's reading. So this lesson is going to tell you a little bit more about that. So diction, first of all, is your word choice. In order to know what words are appropriate, you need to know your purpose for writing. And the way that you determine the purpose for writing is through audience, your genre, your goal, and your level of formality. Okay, so for example, if you are writing a short story for your little brother or sister, you will need to use diction that he or she will understand. With that purpose in mind, you will need to choose an appropriate narrator, first, second, or third person point of view, as well as choose sentence variety and length for the siblings' reading level. So here's a little bit of a story example for a 7-year-old. Tommy always woke up early. He loved feeding Midas his goldfish. When he finished, he turned on the television. Tommy watched his favorite show, The Power Rangers, because he wanted to be a hero. So notice that story is pretty basic. It is a third-person narrative meant for a young child learning to read. The pronouns he and his replace Tommy. And the sentences and word choice reflect that reading level. They're shorter sentences, the vocabulary is age appropriate, so not a lot to the story, but it is appropriate for a 7-year-old. But now here's the same story for an adult. Notice the differences in diction as well as sentence length. So Thomas hated sleeping in. His intrinsic need to be noble encouraged Thomas to choose responsibility over indolence. As a 7-year-old boy, his parents entrusted him with the important chore of feeding Midas, the family goldfish. Thomas would never forget to feed Midas, not after the debacle with Goldie. Seeing his first charge floating at the top of the tank after 3 days of not being fed was enough for Thomas to take his obligation more seriously. The second part of his morning ritual consisted of Thomas's one luxury. He watched the Power Rangers. In essence, the Power Rangers was not frivolous play. Thomas studied the behaviors of these heroes so that one day he too could become a hero. Now notice in that story, first of all, that it's the same person point of view, third person. It is meant for an adult. The pronouns he and his still replace the main character's name, but this time the name is Thomas, not Tommy. However, the sentences and word choice reflect a mature reading level. So we have longer sentences, we have punctuation that reflects a more mature reading level, we have semicolons and colons, we have some transitional phrases that an adult can understand better. So all of those things contribute to our purpose and our audience. So if we compare the two, we have the differences in diction, even the character's name, Tommy versus Thomas. We have sentence length and style, and punctuation between the two stories. All of those things are completely different because of who our audience is. A young child who is learning to read needs simpler words and sentence length, and an adult needs more depth of character development to keep his or her interest. So now, understanding the form and function of diction, your purpose for writing, and your audience will improve all elements of your writing. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.